Budget considerations for new consultants. For those of you that haven't had a chance to start your consulting business, or you're just thinking about the ideas, or maybe you're going to go from part-time to full-time with your side hustle, as we like to call it, we want to think about what we need to put in our budgets. And a lot of times there's stuff that's going to come up that you don't think about, or things that you need to budget for that you haven't thought about in the past. Maybe you've had a part-time job and they've been taking taxes out. You really haven't had to worry about that piece because you haven't made a whole lot of money. But when you get to the point that you're going to go full-time, you have to look at your business structure and say, how much do I need to reserve for tax payments? Am I going to be making quarterly tax payments, estimated tax payments, monthly tax payments? Am I going to be putting myself on salary? And if so, what do my payroll taxes need to look like? And how are those going to come out? Those are things that people don't normally think about and don't know how to estimate. So you want to be talking with an accountant or someone that can help you through that based on what you're projecting to bring in revenue, or what you hope to bring in revenue. You can obviously evaluate that quarterly based on your actual revenue and adjust as necessary. I've been in business for over a decade and I'm still adjusting as necessary each year, because sometimes you make more than you project, sometimes you make less, and depending on the quarter, you may be able to adjust what you're spending. If you're not going to be doing your own accounting, maybe you need to budget for outsourcing some of those types of services. When I first got started, I did not have a virtual assistant. There were a lot of systems that I did not have in place. I couldn't have afforded to if I'd have wanted to. But as your business grows, you want to think about what types of software do you need that will help with your business and help it more seamlessly flow. Like this past year was the first year that we really upgraded to having HelloSign, DocuSign, those types of tools in a paid service, because previously we actually had a HelloSign account and a DocuSign account, because you can have 3 a month with each of those services, and we really weren't doing more contracts where we needed that. We have a lot of services that don't require contracts. So this year is the first year where we're like, we need more than 6 a month, and so we paid for the subscription to HelloSign for the first time. So there's a lot of things you can do and access services for free. We use Grammarly and we pay for that service, but it goes across devices, so we can use that in a lot of places. There's Dropbox for business. We use that as well, and it's sort of a shared platform that the team can use from wherever they are remotely. We use tools like Asana, but we don't have a paid subscription because all the tools that we need as a company at the moment are available in the free version. We have the free version of Zoom and the paid version of GoToWebinar. So we do a lot of webinars. We have a lot of people on the webinars. We use both of those platforms as well for meetings, online virtual meetings and consultations. We had to upgrade our email and web-based platform softwares a couple of years ago to really meet all of the needs of the company as we grew. You may start out with something like MailChimp or Constant Contact or a smaller email list, and then you may grow into a larger one. So you want to think through, what are your goals? Are you trying to grow an email list? Are you trying to do a lot of things with your website? A lot of people just do word of mouth work and they're not trying to get really big. One of our goals as a company a couple of years ago was to really grow our mailing list. So we went from about 3,300 people to over 30,000. And we really had to put some systems in place to make sure that that was seamless, that we weren't sending spam, that we were able to filter when emails were no longer valid and those types of things. So there were some systems that went into place there. So sitting down and thinking through what types of systems are you going to need and calculating what your budget might be for that will be helpful. How much are you going to spend on your website, your platform, your server, all those types of things each year? How much are your monthly bills going to be for things like internet, phone, any of your business expenses? Are you going to have marketing that's going to be printed? Are you going to print business cards? Are you going to have flyers, rack cards? Are you going to be handing out materials at events? So thinking through, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? Are we going to be speaking? Is everything we do going to be virtual? What types of things are you going to need in the world of print? Then you want to think about things like insurance. Who's going to pay for your healthcare insurance? What does that look like? Do you need to have other people in your family on your insurance plan? Are you going to go through the online healthcare portals, or are you going to get private insurance? There's lots of options there. You'll want to get some quotes to see what that looks like, because as an independent business owner, there are some rules around what you do and don't have to have as far as insurance, so you don't get dinged when you file your taxes. So if you're not doing your own taxes, you might want to talk to your tax preparer about what that might look like. You also want to think about if you're going to have a home office or if you're going to work outside your house, because there are things you can write off if you have a home office that's dedicated for work. And you, again, can talk with your accountant about that. You want to book in anything for training that you might want. What are some classes you need to take? What are some conferences you want to attend? Or do you need coaching? What are the things that you need to write into your budget so that you can get ongoing education for yourself or your team? And those are some of the initial things you're going to want to think about. If you're just starting and you need to file your papers to become a for-profit business, you might need to budget in some dollars for whatever, if it's going to be a lawyer or if you're going to use a service like LegalZoom or something. How much is it going to cost for you to get your business established? With that, depending on the state that you're in, you may have an annual franchise fee. Here in North Carolina, it's $200 a year. You may also have a filing fee for filing your annual report for your business. I think in North Carolina it's $25, or it might be $100. I think it's $25. And so those are things that you're going to want to make sure that you are budgeting. If you have travel expenses, what do those look like? Were you budgeting for those? So those are some things to get you started. Hope that you enjoyed learning about that, and it helps as you put together your budget for your consulting business.